The London School of Economics and Political Science was founded with the mission of addressing major social challenges. This year, we have shifted our focus onto what we believe is one of the most pressing challenges of our generation, sustainability. We are looking forward to telling you about our 3 social projects, Creative Cycle, As Told by Them, and the brand new Vita Nova. My name is Matt, and joining me today are John, Claire, Calvin, Gyap, and on tech, we have Harish.
Kadisha once lived on the streets. She had nowhere to go and nobody to talk to. She had dreams and aspirations of starting her own business, but she had no idea where to start.
This situation is all too common with 80% of self-employed women living in poverty. The lack of accessible training courses for disadvantaged women meant that creating businesses was almost impossible, and social mobility was just a far-fetched dream.
Thus, we introduced Creative Cycle, our 10-week business skills course and mentorship program to empower vulnerable women by turning their entrepreneurship dreams into reality, creating sustainable businesses and improving social mobility.
In October, we met up with our beneficiaries from Baytree and conducted a thorough needs assessment. We found that 6 out of 7 of our beneficiaries lacked knowledge of basic business concepts, and all 7 of them had never got practical entrepreneurship experience before.
We spent November and December designing the course materials. Greater emphasis on technology in the business landscape has also redirected our focus to honing our beneficiaries' computer and digital marketing skills.
Our workshops began in January. The 2-hour session began with a 45-minute lecture, followed by one-to-one mentor-mentee discussion.
This year, we also launched Ethereal, our innovative solution to provide sustainable funding for Creative Cycle and offer our beneficiaries the opportunity to gain business exposure in a limited risk environment.
Our business model involves reduction and sales of our REIT diffusers by Enactus members and the management of the business by our beneficiaries for them to apply the skills they learned from the workshop. For example, following our bookkeeping workshop, our beneficiaries were given the chance to manage Ethereal's inventory and accounts. Ethereal
has been a huge success. We have sold 50 REIT diffusers so far, generating a profit of £250. £200 will be split evenly amongst the beneficiaries and used as initial capital for their businesses, whilst the remaining £50 will be reinvested into expanding Ethereal's operations as a more sustainable business. More importantly, running Ethereal alongside our regular workshops has given our beneficiaries the newfound confidence to start their own businesses.
In addition, we partnered with Saffron, an online platform that guides startups by providing key business support, training, and connection, easing their transition into starting their own businesses.
This year, we are on track to impact 7 beneficiaries by helping them launch their startups.
On our weekly feedback survey to improve course content, we received an average rating of 4.8 out of 5 on the usefulness of the information given and 4.4 on the applicability of our sessions.
Kadisha flourished in the program. Hopes and aspirations replaced tears and doubts. Her initial aversion towards technology completely disappeared. She utilized her newly developed skills to start an online platform for carnival goers to buy custom-made costumes.
More importantly, the transferable skills our beneficiaries have developed have transformed their lives, both personally and professionally. Let's see how Creative Cycle has impacted one of our beneficiaries, Sandra.
From being on the Creative Cycle program has been immensely invaluable to me. I am now much more entrepreneurial. I'm really serious. I've got a business hat on. I'm going from strength to strength. 6 months after completing the course, I did a networking event at Virgin Money Bank. So for me, the whole program was really about galvanizing me to be the best that I could be as an entrepreneur. My mentor was with me from start to finish, and I still have contact with her, and she was teaching me the technical sides of things, how to market my business using video. So I'm just truly grateful for this platform.
Sandra's even come back to Creative Cycle as alumni to share her experiences and inspire our new beneficiaries. This is how Creative Cycle maintains social sustainability, by growing our alumni network and bringing aspiring female entrepreneurs together.
Through our tailored solutions and practical learning, we are proud to contribute to women empowerment, step by step. individual by individual, we hope to have substantially changed the lives of our 7 beneficiaries for the better.
Yet, beyond this punched woman, we believe there is another group of people that needs empowerment.
On my way to university, every day, I walk past at least 3 homeless people shivering under torn blankets. This is the experience of the 9,000 people who sleep rough on the streets of London every single day. Sleeping rough is frightening, isolating, and demoralizing. We knew we had to do something to deal with this problem.
During our needs assessment, we conducted interviews with various homeless people in London and realized that the homeless wanted the support and skills to get back into employment. While our project last year had an impact towards beneficiaries, it lacked a long-term revenue stream and was unsustainable. We also noticed that our beneficiaries struggled to communicate effectively. Thus, we decided to rebrand the project to As Told by Them. As the name suggests, other than the Employability Workshops, we now also run a podcast channel with the aim of destigmatizing homelessness. This also allows us to generate a sustainable revenue stream while having a greater impact on our beneficiaries.
Following a needs assessment, we created a 4-week workshop with the beneficiaries of Thames Reach, a homeless charity based in South London. Our main objective was to build up the skills and the confidence of the homeless in hopes of increasing their employment prospects. In our employability workshops, held between February and March, we included presentation, basic IT, CV writing, and interview skills workshops. Each workshop includes interactive exercises, such as situational tasks and mock interviews that simulate a real-life working environment.
By working with the homeless during our employability workshops, we realized being on the streets hurts one's self-image. This resulted in eroded self-esteem, which led to a self-fulfilling vicious cycle where they constantly doubted their own abilities, many of whom want to do all they can to dispel the notion that the homeless are lazy, unqualified, or addicts. This perception is dehumanizing to those who are already vulnerable. Thus, we attempted to tackle this problem by allowing the homeless to share their life stories via an innovative method of using a podcast channel. We decided to capitalize on high scalability potential and its low operating costs to generate high profit margins. The podcast has 2 main objectives. Firstly, it gives our beneficiaries the opportunity to practice their public speaking and communication skills that they have learned throughout our workshops. Secondly, it aims to remove the misplaced notions on the homeless.
The creative direction behind our podcast is simple: to use empathy to capture the attention of listeners. The powerful stories told by beneficiaries humanize them by discussing their backgrounds, hobbies, and dreams to show that they are not much different from you and me. To date, we've uploaded 2 podcasts on our Spotify channel.
Allowing the homeless to share their experience is extremely empowering for them, as can be seen from one of our beneficiaries, Gary. Despite being diagnosed with high-functioning autism, Gary has managed to graduate with first-class honors from Cambridge. Devastatingly, Gary still found himself unemployed and homeless. These are his thoughts.
So I feel like people that have experienced homelessness, getting their story out there is really important, because although there is knowledge out there, you can look at all the numbers, the figures, this is how many homeless people there are, etc. It's just numbers. You need the personal stories of someone, whether that's me or whoever else. Like, that personal connection is what really gets to people. I feel like that's the important part. It's not even like I am one of X number of people. It's these are my experiences, these were my fears, these were my worries, these are my concerns. This is what I think needs to change.
Our main marketing tactic is digital, through Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram pages. We are also launching our own As Told by Them website to further publicize our podcast. Through media channels such as local radio stations, we're also able to further market our work. Since it will take a significant audience base to generate sustainable profits, we're looking at alternate revenue sources. Moving forward, we plan to collate and publish all our stories into a book to sell. In the long term, we aim to teach the homeless how to use the podcast equipment so that they can run the podcast themselves.
Overall, we are on track to impact 18 individuals through As Told by Them. With our workshops, they are gaining the skills to become more employable. Through our podcast, they are becoming more confident.
However, the homeless are not the only ones who need a place to call home. Those who were once neglected need to be reintegrated and play a part in society. This notion inspired our newest social project, Vita Nova. Vita Nova is designed with the primary focus of helping NEETs. Whereas the number of NEETs in the UK has decreased significantly over the past 5 years, the same cannot be said for London, which has actually seen an increase in the proportion of 16 to 24-year-olds who fall into this category. The project consists of two complementary components. On the one hand, we deliver an 8-week training program to a group of NEETs provided by our partner Spiral Youth. And on the other, we produce tote bags through Upcycling Clothing, which is donated by students and our second partner, the Modern Society. Each training session is divided into 3 distinct parts. First, a presentation of the concept, followed by a discussion of key themes, and finally, application through practical exercises. Course content is centered around the 8 essential skills, which together form the Skills Builder framework. Our beneficiaries work in groups to design and produce the bags, presenting their processes and outcomes to the rest of the cohort. This provides them with a creative outlet through which they can simultaneously practice the skills they learn in the workshop and improve their mental health. We have chosen to use tote bags as our product, as they are both easy to make and promote environmental sustainability in a number of ways. The tote bags we produce will be sold directly to both shops and the public, with all profits made being reinvested back into the project, making it financially sustainable. Upon completion of the program, interested participants are encouraged to become mentors for future cohorts, making the project socially sustainable. VitaNova was officially launched on the 1st of January 2020. Since then, we have produced 60 tote bags through holding 4 upcycling sessions and have saved 25 kilograms of clothing. We are looking forward to expanding the project next year.
This year, huge changes have been made at Enactus LSE. We've launched a brand new project, VitaNova, and a redesigned creative cycle and As Told by Them, which now have a deeper, longer lasting, and more sustainable impact. Through our social projects, we believe we have made the lives of our beneficiaries better, brighter, and more hopeful. Together, we are Enactus LSE.